about your purpose, what you were born to do. I truly believe that if you do what you were born to do, you will understand the importance of what you're doing. Do what you're born to do. Don't pursue something based on the success you saw somebody else get. Seeking purpose makes you better. I appreciate all those who invited followers out to join this scope. If you're joining for the very first time, my name is David Winston. I encourage others to become the best the best version of themselves, so they can find success, but not do it alone, but do it with God, because God wants you to be successful. Living out without purpose is an abuse of time. I believe that it's a waste of time living without purpose. I say that when you are living without purpose and living life apart from the Creator, that you are not living, you are just existing. But you can truly start living the life that you were born to live when you live out your purpose. And yeah, Periscope, I don't know if it's acting up, but hopefully you can view a replay of this if your connection's going in and out. But I believe that in this culture today, it's so easy to get caught up in doing stuff that other people are doing because we have so much exposure to other people. I mean, you got YouTube, Instagram, even this right here, Periscope. I mean, you have so much access to what everybody else is doing. It's easy to get sucked in to believe that what they're doing is more valuable than what you're doing. And what they're doing will lead to better success than the thing that you're doing. And so it's easy to get swept up in that, but I'm here to tell you that your value and your purpose, your goals, your potential, it's just as valuable. It's just as important as theirs. And don't get swept up in thinking that, hey, their stuff is more important than my stuff. I'm here to tell you that God has made all of us uniquely valuable, and that all of us together help build society and help build up the body of Christ. And so I believe that your purpose is valuable. And yes, we will be doing part 2 of Dreamers tomorrow. I'm excited about it in youth service. So this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this on this quick scope. I wanted to share with you a story that I wrote. And this is a story that I wrote for my kids. I actually wrote this like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I wrote a little short story, and I just want to share it with you because it talks about valuing your purpose, your potential. And so I'm going to read it to you. It's not long, but I want to read it to you, and hopefully this will encourage you. And the story is called Mr. Sun and Mooney. So, and like I said, this was a kid's story, but sometimes we can get some very important lessons from just those small, simple little kid stories. On the day that the sun was made, the sun was proud to be the sun. It was made bright and shiny, just like the glory of God. It gave heat for warmth, light to see, and a way to distinguish day and night. Everyone was always happy when the sun came around. The sun was glad to be the sun. But one day soon after, God said, "Mr. Sun, I'm going to give you some company." And so, on that day, God created the stars. He created the planets, but he also created the moon. The moon was glad to be in space and started to develop a friendship with his new homie, Mr. Sun. All right, you follow so far? So we got Sun and the moon. As Mr. Sun and the moon grew closer, he gave the moon a nickname, Mooney. Mr. Sun and Mooney kicked it all the time, chilling up in space, hanging out without a care in the universe. They even like to play tricks on the people on Earth, performing what we know as solar eclipses. Isn't that fun so far? So check this out. Stick with me. As time went on, Mr. Sun began to notice something. Despite the fact that he gave off heat and light and spread joy to others, he was not getting the attention that Mooney was getting. As you see, everyone started visiting Mooney and making space missions to the moon. Mr. Sun saw this and became jealous. He wanted attention too and couldn't understand why he wasn't getting any. Mr. Sun became sad because he wasn't getting the attention that Mooney was getting, and he said, "I know what I'll do. I'll become like Mooney, and I will change into a moon. Then people from all over will want to visit me too. That will make me happy again." And Mr. Sun began to transform, and all of a sudden things went dim. And then, in a moment, all the light was gone. Check this out. Mr. Sun began to look around. But he couldn't see anything. He looked for the stars. Couldn't see him. Looked for the astronauts. Couldn't see him. Looked for his buddy, Mr. Mooney. Couldn't see him. Nope. Darkness was everywhere. He didn't see anyone. He began to frown. And he was saddened that he was even more lonely than he was before. And in that moment, he called out to God. Here's the point. If you didn't hear anything, hear this. In the moment, the son called out to God, the creator. Mr. Son, he asked him, God, why am I suddenly all alone? And why do I feel so sad? God replied, Mr. Son, you were created with a purpose. All along, you were fulfilling that purpose. And as you were fulfilling that purpose, you were content. But when I placed other creations around you, jealousy made you forget the very reason that you were created. When you started to become like the moon, you abandoned the things that you were created to do, to give light, to give warmth, and to spark happiness. What you fail to realize is that when I created the moon, I created him as a reflection of you. He only shines because your light lets him shine. Your light lets everyone shine. Without your light, no one else shines, not even the moon. When you fulfill your purpose, they fulfill theirs. You must learn not to be jealous of the attention that the moon gets, because unlike the moon, you provide heat, you provide warmth, and you provide happiness. Everyone needs the light and heat that you provide, even Mooney. So when you cease to exist, the moon ceases to exist also. I thought that this was a great story. I wrote this under the inspiration of God, and it just all of a sudden, like I said several years ago, just all of a sudden just came to me. But it's a reminder of the fact that it says in the Bible in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12, I believe, that it's not wise to compare ourselves with ourselves, and that it's easy to get caught up in that comparison game. And I'm telling you, the key to finding significance and importance and value within your own gift is to stop comparing yourself with other people. Comparing yourself with other people is a dangerous game that you will always seem to lose. But when you stop and stand back and say, God, you created me the way you wanted me, just how you wanted me for a purpose, and you have all the built-in potential inside of me. When you take that approach, you'll start to learn that the things inside of you are things that nobody else has. And you can do something that nobody else can do. And you have a gift that nobody else has. And your gift is irreplaceable in society and in this earth. And when you start to know that you are so important to God and so important to other people, you will take value in that, and you will stop comparing yourselves to others, because you'll know that there is no comparison. I'm here to tell you that there is no comparison between you and them, because God made you all both unique and special and different. So how can you compare a banana to a watermelon? You can't. They're both different fruits that have different function. They're a fruit all the same, but a banana may not satisfy how a watermelon satisfies. A watermelon may not satisfy how a banana satisfies. So why compare the two? It's not wise. So I'm here to tell you that it says in Romans chapter 4 and verse 4, it talks about, for we are many members in one body, but all the members do not have the same function. Being many members, we are all individually members of the body, but we are all individual members of one another. And so I'm here to tell you that we are all uniquely designed and created to accomplish God's will and plan in our lives and in this earth. And so I'm glad that you're happy with what God is doing in your life, and you should be. But I'm here to tell you that you will never find happiness or contentment trying to compare yourself with others. It won't happen. And where the happiness and contentment comes is finding your purpose and value in the things that God created you to do. Not in the things that God created somebody here on YouTube to do, or not in the things that God created somebody over here on Instagram to do. And hey, that's great that they're doing that, but that might not be your purpose. That might not be your assignment. So I'm here to tell you, stick with your purpose. Stay in your lane. You will find value, happiness, joy, and fulfillment doing what God has called you to do. How can you be fulfilled fulfilling a purpose that wasn't given to you? Trying to reach a destiny that wasn't given to you, on the road to a destination that doesn't exist for you. A destination that exists for somebody else, but maybe not for you. And so I'm here to encourage you. Do what God has called you to do. Do what you were born to do. Find your gift. Find your talent. Find your purpose in life and pursue it. Seek it. Push forward. Go towards it. There's a great future out there for you, and God is waiting to help prosper you. So that's my message for you today. That's my encouragement here for you today. And just know that do what you were born to do. God is going to equip you. He's going to give you everything that you need to make it possible. He'll bring divine relationships into your life. He'll give you access to resources. He'll open doors for you. He'll do everything he needs to help you do to accomplish your assignment. You know why? Because nobody on this earth has self-assigned their self. You have not self-assigned yourself. That means that you weren't born, and then when you came of consciousness, you assigned yourself what you were supposed to do in this earth. That did not happen. God put the assignment on you before you were born in this earth. And so he gave you the assignment. He gave you the purpose. And the best way to understand that purpose is to have a relationship with him. The relationship with the Creator will always be able to dictate the instructions necessary for the creation. And so make sure that you are connected to God. Don't pursue something based on the success you saw somebody else get. Pursue something based on the success that God has promised that you will get. And I believe that you'll be blessed.